Ala, what program are you in here at Birzeit?
I study history and political science, and I volunteer with the Right to Education campaign, and also I'm volunteering in the establishment of the Oral History Center here in Birzeit.
What are some of the problems college students have with their education?
Actually, the major problem is the logistics. Actually, it's hard for them to come every day and go to the university and to their homes. Actually, because of the closures and the checkpoints and many of the Israeli harassments on the checkpoints. Other problem they have actually it's the economical situation. Actually, it's completely bad. Many students they can't pay their fees at time, and actually mostly every semester the students they make problems and they make some kind of a protest about the fees and so on because they can't pay, and if they can't pay they can't start taking classes. And this is another issue that we're facing actually in the Right to Education campaign. We're trying to find fund for them to cover their fees and so on.
Now, if you live in Gaza, can you go to Birzeit?
Actually, no, and this is another issue. Actually, we're dealing with the Right to Education campaign, which is the Gaza students, because before the second Intifada and everything, we used to have over 300 students from Gaza, and they used to come and go, and everything it was completely good. Right now, we have less than 8 students from Gaza actually, and if the Israelis they catch a Gaza ID here in the West Bank in general, either they take them and they imprison them, or they return them to Gaza. Even if many students they had this problem actually because they were like graduate students. It's only like a couple of months and they get graduated, or a year and they get graduated, but they get transported to Gaza. So all the study that they had over right here, it's gone with the wind, and they don't get their degree. Yes.
Well, let's close. What personal problems have you had trying to get here? And, have you had problems at checkpoints, things like that?
Actually, during 2002, we had like the 40 days of curfew that happened here, the major Israeli invasion of the Palestinian towns and villages and cities. We had a checkpoint between Ramallah and Birzeit called Surda at that time, and we used like to stay on that checkpoint for up to 4, sometimes 6 hours to pass it and come to the university, and we had to walk like 2 kilometers actually. And it depends on the soldier's mood actually. If they are not in the mood, they won't let you pass at all actually. And during this period of time we couldn't manage to come to the university, actually not only me, most of the students. So we came up with the university came up with a different way to make education reach the students. It was through the Ritaj website, which is like you can sign up through the internet. You can take your lectures, you can ask questions to the professors, you get your lectures online, you read them, you make your exams online.
I understand.
Yeah, this is one of the methods. The other method was like moving the classrooms from Birzeit University to local schools actually. That's when they used to open like for 6 hours the curfew just for people to go and buy stuff. We used to go to keep on with the academic process through these schools actually. In this period of time actually it was really hard to continue and concentrate on my studies. Personally, my personal experience, I had to travel abroad. So I went and studied in Russia for a couple of years, for 2 years exactly. I continued studying in the same field that I started here in Birzeit, which is computer information systems. And then I came back here after I heard that the situation is a little bit better, because in Russia I have to study 10 years to get my PhD, and here they consider it as a BA with 1 year experience. So it's like losing lots of years for nothing. While if I get graduated from here, my certificate would be recognized mostly in all of the world, not like the Russian certificate. So I came back here, and I have transferred my major. Actually, at that time, I knew exactly what I want and so on. So that's why I'm late a little bit in the university. This is because of the whole situation here. I got late, actually. Yeah.
I'm sure you're not the only person who have been delayed for years in education.
Exactly. Actually, during the 40 days curfew, Brazil University lost around 800 of its students. They went to study abroad at that time because they couldn't manage to come to the university and continue their studies. Yes.
Thank you very much for this interview.
Anytime. You're welcome.
Nice.